Hello again, everyone. Welcome to this episode of Casting My Climbs. So, let's go over the teams. In the blue team, we got Trinity in the top lane. Ramos is going to be the jungler. Echo is the mid laner. Sivir is going to be the bot carry. And Mel is going to be the support. For the red team, we have Kisanta top. Diana is the jungler. Yasuo's in the mid lane. Smolder as the bot carry. And Camille as the support. So, be transparent, of course. I am the Smolder in this game. The Camille was a bit of a surprise, to be honest, but can work out kind of well if they play it well. That was my thought process. Goes in with the jump there, gets on top of the Mel. Mel's losing a lot of HP already. Ignite comes out as well. Mel is very, very low. Flash from the Smolder, and that is a kill. First blood goes over to the red team. Not even 1 minute into the game, it's 1-0 up. Quite a heavy start, to be honest. Right now, we do see Yasuo and Echo exchanging from 3 blows. Oh, Camille goes on another good jump there onto the Sivir, but Sivir has to back away from this one. Trinity goes on top of the Kisanta. Kisanta is dropping pretty low here. Does have to use the last potion. Walks a bit too far in for my taste right now with everything going on here right now. Meanwhile, Yasuo and Echo are still exchanging in the mid lane quite a bit. Trinity goes on top of the Kisanta. Kisanta has a chance to walk away, walks back in, and then gets just killed off of that one. And does force the ignite out there, but that was probably not even needed for that one. And now we do see Yasuo and the Echo fighting up. Ignite on the Echo. Echo keeps holding on, burning quite low down there. Still surviving. The Echo is very, very low. But he's trying to stay in the lane. I'm not too sure if that's the best choice you can have right now. Yasuo gets in. Wind walls there. Echo jumps on, gets knocked up, and killed off there. Takes a tower shot as well, and gets to live another day. Meanwhile, bot lane, a bit of an exchange here. Just the casual exchange you kind of see most of the time. Ramos going for something. Takes the tower shot. Takes 2 even. And Yasuo just managed to recall there. So all well and good here. So what I'm going to point out, I'm playing for one Smolder with a TP, which I rarely do. Oh, good root there from the Mel, and quite a bit of damage being put on to the bot duo on the blue side. However, leveling up, Kisanta looking for another fight here. Gets a good stun on to the Trinity, but still Trinity is holding up quite nicely here. And Kisanta with a bit of an advantage in this one, I would say. But still have to keep an eye out how this goes. Mel looks for another one, gets a good jump onto the Mel. Root comes in there as well, flash, and gets a kill. Tower does finish off the job there. Sivir gets the kill, and Sivir gets to live to fight another day, barely though. Quite aggressive play here is still being put in here. The wave is in favor of the Kisanta. We're at 2-3. This is a very bloodthirsty game already. Good knock up onto the Echo. Echo does have his shield there. Diana jumps in there still, and Echo has not enough HP, but still managed to walk away from this one. Santa holding up as much as he can right now, trying to get on top of this Trinity. Trinity goes in now. There is a good stun there. It gets a knock up as well. However, Camille gets taunt. However, not much about that right now. They're still exchanging blows here right now. And that's just how it goes on right now. Oh, good knock once again from the Kisanta, but he has to be very careful about the situation in general, I would say right now, because he is not the premier position. Meanwhile, Camille goes for another jump onto the Mel. She's been taking quite a beating in this game already here. She does only have one. She does have 2 deaths. That's another thing to keep an eye out for. Positive for them, it's both went to the Camille right now, so only assists on the Smolder here. So there is something to play around this right now, and at the same time, we do have the Sivir who picked up 1 kill, the 1 death of the Camille in the bot lane. Or another thing to keep in mind as well. We do have a Smolder here. He could stack his way out of this one. We have a Yasuo in the lead right now. We're about 450 into this game, about a 400 gold lead, which is about a kill in favor of the red team. So it makes quite a bit of sense what's going on here right now. in a lot of pressure. The Trinimir is looking good in the top lane. We are close to having level 6s here in the top lane, so that's something that the Kisanta, I feel like, has to be very wary of how this goes around right now. A lot of damage. There is the level 6 for the Trinimir, and Kisanta wisely backs off immediately from that one. Yasuo has level 6 as well. Ramos comes in from the side, gets a taunt onto the Yasuo. There is the shields coming in as well. Yasuo's trying to move around here. Diana comes in from the side, gets a jump on there. They get a knock up on top of the Ramos. Ramos is dropping pretty low, gets into his turtle mode, and he does manage not to get out of it. Camille comes in from the side, and Echo falls as well. Double kill for the Diana. Meanwhile, Kisanta and Trinimir are fighting here. Kisanta has to get away from this now, has to even burn a flash there after the Ignite comes out there as well. Trinimir doesn't have that, but he still has enough damage to just take out the Kisanta. Undying Rage was enough to buy him the time for that one, and he got in there to finish off the Kisanta. 2-0 is the Trinimir right now. 4-5, about 6 minutes in here. And the first Drake, the Hextech Drake, goes into the hands of the red team as well. So they extend their lead about to 700. About. It's a rough estimate right now, but it is shrinking quite a bit because we do have the tower plates in play, which you can see now immediately goes down to 300 thanks to the plates. But we're kind of bouncing up and down right now. Yasuo looking for some more blood on this Echo, goes pretty heavily into this one. Meanwhile, there is the Rammus coming in there, gets a taunt on top of this Smolder, and they're looking for a lot of pressure here, but not much about that one. It's still coming out of the Yasuo. The Echo does get a stun onto the Diana, barely surviving that fight though. Yasuo's still there and goes in and takes this pound of flesh. 6-4 for the red team. Smolder's getting pressured quite heavily here by the Sivir and the Mel. They do have a lot of damage to put on top of the Smolder. And the Smolder honestly just wants to farm out this one, but not really a good opportunity to do much about that right now. Kisanta has to be very wary. The Trinimir is pretty far up ahead. He has almost a level here. Good stun from the Kisanta once again, but not really a fight you want to do if you're a Kisanta right now. Gets a good knock there as well, but it kind of favors the Trinimir in that way. Yasuo once again looking for the Echo here. Kisanta's trying to lane normally, but I don't really feel like that's going to be the play you want to do against this Trinimir. It's a good knock once again there. Good hit there as well, but a lot of damage being once again put onto this Kisanta, and Trinimir is looking for another opportunity here. None of the junglers are really in the play right now for this one. Camille once again puts some pressure on here. Good jump there from the Mel. Mel is trying to hold up, does use her barrier there as well. Mom comes in there, does a bit of damage, but not really much you can really do about that one. Another good root there from the Mel there, a lot of damage. Sivir holds up the bargain still though. 6-4 is still the score for a red team. A lot of damage has been put on either side right now. Smolder's trying to hold up as much as you can right now. Camille can't really do much with that HP pool right now in this game. Ult comes out of there, does not put anybody down in this lane. Sivir takes another hit there. That's a lot too, probably too much there. Camille goes for the jump there. Hits the shield, is pretty low, but the Ignite does finish her off there. Sivir goes down to the Smolder W, and Diana finishes off that Mel. Meanwhile, Echo is in a pretty rough situation. Can't really do much against this Yasuo here, and he is keeping up the pressure in this one. A lot to be thought about this situation. Not really much that the Yasuo can do here, really. The Echo is in a bad situation. Takes the Ignite there as well. Is that enough to put him down? That's the next question. Yes, it is. Meanwhile, Ramos ganking the top lane, giving the Trinimir another kill. All outcomes there from the Kisanta. He's not in good position there. He managed to get the dash there. Trinimir has Undying Rage left, so he's still going to go for this dive and goes in there. A lot of damage from the Kisanta. Not much he can do about that. Undying Rage still running here. Diana coming in from the side, trying to get on top of the Trinimir, and he is in a good range. Flash comes in there, jump on top, and that's a dead Trinimir. 6-10 is now the score in favor of this red team once again. Diana comes, another pull in. Rammus is not getting away from that one, and it's a double kill for the Diana. And now the lead is slowly ballooning pretty heavily here. Mom comes in there, tries to get some damage in there. Nothing, only a good field goal between both of them. Split the uprights there. Nothing else about that one. 5-kill lead for the red team. 6 kills are on the board for the blue team, and the lead is growing. It's a bit more than 3,000 gold lead for this red team. Nothing much you can really do about that. If you are on the blue side right now, you kind of have to just stay in yourself. Cassandra once again looks at this Tryndamere and decides to go in this. I'm not too sure if you really want to do this if you're the Cassandra. You've gone down 3 times in this matchup. All 3 were solo. Well, okay, one was probably not a solo kill. I would say one was the Rammus there as well, but mainly solo kills. You don't really have much in the board right now. You kind of have to play the safe right now. Blue bot lane are a bit too far forward. Have to be very careful about this one. The information is there. Wind wall does stop the root from coming out there. Mel is trying to look for a situation out of here. Yasuo kind of led her off there, and she goes down still though. Drake is not up, is up now, so this is a good opportunity for the red team to extend their lead. They have double kills right now with 12 on the red side. They're looking for some more opportunity. Rammus is there. So goes a bit aggressive on this Rammus. Gets a good knock up there, but not really much you really want to follow. Sivir comes out as well. Gets stunned by the Camille. A lot of damage. Ignite comes out there as well. And that is enough. That tornado puts him down there. Meanwhile, there is still a fight going on here. Echo comes out there. Has to immediately jump back there. Mom comes into the play. Misses everybody, but Mel still managed to kick that back. That's a bit of a surprising one. There's the Mel ult as well. Yasuo hits the tornado, knocks him up. And that's a 3-4 zip in that fight. And now we already have 10 kills more on this red team with 6 on the blue team. And Drake was taken as well during that time. So a lot is going in favor of this red team right now. Looks pretty good here. Good knock there from the Cassandra, but he moved him out of the turret range, and that's a bit of a dangerous situation, to be honest about this one, for this Cassandra. I think we have a moment of reprieve here, so let's look at how this game is developing in terms of items. So in the top lane, nobody really has an item yet done. Cassandra kind of dissuaded his former push and is now going towards the Stormer, but Camille comes in from the side. Tryndamere trying to find a way out of this one. Diana gets a good jump there, but Tryndamere managed to slow a bit down, but still he's being chased here. I think he has Undying Rage. No, he doesn't, and that's him gone. But the Diana, who has 8 kills already on the board with 3 assists, no deaths yet, has a Dusk and Dawn. Meanwhile, the Rammus has the Thorn Mail. Mid lane, we do... Oh, Ravenous Hydra pickup now on this Tryndamere as well, so that's another item to keep in mind. Meanwhile, Cassandra doesn't have an item yet full item in his inventory. Mid lane, Echo is not there yet as well. Well, the Yasuo has a Storm Racer and even has the Gun Slinger Boots? Was that the name? Gun Metal Greaves, okay. Almost. Oh, another jump try here from the Camille, but a bit too far forward. Does get the Hextech execution out of there and Hextech protocol out of there, and meanwhile Yasuo dives the tower, claims the life of the Echo, but claims his own death as well. Meanwhile, we do see, as I said, the Echo now has the Proto Belt, so that's another good item here. Sivir doesn't have an item yet, while the Smolder does have the Essence Reaver. Bit of an iffy start, I would say. Maybe for Smolder can work out, but I'm not too sure if this was the right item choice in this game. Well, we do have the Umbro Glaive on the Camille to get a bit more lethality in there. Cassandra gets good on to the Tryndamere, but really it's not a good situation for him to be in any way, shape, or form right now. Cassandra looking for some more pressure here right now. Oh, there is the Diana going on top of the Echo, gets a jump there quite nicely. There is the shield to stun him up once again, but still not enough to hold up, and that's another kill for the Yasuo. It's still not looking so good, if I would be honest about this right now for this blue team. It's 7-20 at almost 15 minutes here. Now the Rammus coming in there. Camille gets a good stun once again on the Rammus, and meanwhile Yasuo takes down the first turret in the mid lane, so the blue team have lost a turret. Camille's now in a pressure situation because they are looking for something. We're not sure if this something is exactly what you want to see here in this game. Now, Camille gets a good stun on top of the Trinimir. Trinimir now has the Undying Rage. Problem is K'Sante is pretty low. K'Sante goes down there. Diana comes in from the side looking for an opportunity here to get on top of anybody. You're not much about this right now. The Rammus has no opportunity to get out of there. Trinimir is looking for a way out of this one, but meanwhile in the mid lane we do have the Echo getting pretty heavily pushed here by the Rammus. Well, Smolder in the bot lane has to just hold his horses here right now. Just has to hold his horses, farm up, and just find a way out of this one. But 16 minutes in, we're 8-21. We're at more than a 6,000 gold lead for this red team. Looks pretty good, I would say, right now in their bag, but I'm not too sure. Because this is a bit of a rough situation. No surrenders have been yet put into this play, which is a very interesting situation, to be honest. I feel like the blue team, I gotta commend them holding out. Gotta be honest about that one. Good knock there from the K'Sante, but not really much he can really do otherwise about this. Trinimir outplays him completely here. Good tower shot there. All out is pulled. I'm not too sure about that one, but it's enough, and no Undying Rage. That surprises me a bit, to be honest. Okay, K'Sante finds a way through that one. Has the Iceborne Gauntlet now. And Camille's trying to get on top. Gets another Hextech Protocol on top of the Sivir there. Mom is sent back by Mel, but not really much otherwise they can do about that one. Drake is up. Guntal Wild Arrows for the Sivir here now in hand. So Sivir now has an item as well. Do you see the pressure is being put up here? Camille goes for the dive immediately. They get on top of that one. Take down the Mel. Another death here. Rammus comes in on the Yasuo. They both go on. Yasuo's pretty low here in this situation. Drops down. Jump on top of him. Windwall comes out of there, and he has no chance to escape that one. Diana did claim the Drake for that one, so Soul Point is now an opportunity here. Rammus is in a bad situation with the Diana being close by, but they're 3-man there versus 1 Diana. Diana's not in a good spot, trying to find a way out of this one. Not really sure there's much you can do as the Diana is moving back quite a bit. TP comes in from the K'Sante, so there's some help coming in here, and they're looking to force more out of this one. Game is pretty rough if you look at how this blue team is playing. They're not looking good. Seeker's arm guard put up, but the Riftmaker is in the hand as well. Infinity Edge on the Yasuo. So a lot of big items are coming in for this red team. I feel like they should be trying to force something in this play right now. Otherwise, it could become very, very rough for this one. And I'll put myself on that board as well because I feel like I should be playing more towards the mid lane. You should be grouping up, forcing your advantage completely here. Not trying to outfarm them right now. Camille gets on top of the Mel, but there's the Echo as well. Echo's coming in there, trying to put some pressure on there as well. A lot of damage to be put in there. Root that stun on top of there. Now the Echo is trying to get on top of the Smolder. Smolder's dropping pretty low. Echo looking for some more blood here. Gets on top there, has to pull back now. Mel gets on top of there as well and puts the Smolder down too. Meanwhile, Diana's looking for the blood of the Trinimir and gets it. Rammus coming in from the side, going into 2. I'm not sure if this is the opportunity you want if you're the Rammus here. He's trying to find a way out, gets knocked back there, gets a knock there as well. Ult there, another dead there. Yasuo meanwhile came into the bot lane against 3, takes 1 down, but goes down to the last 2 there. Not too sure if that's the play I would write down and say that's what you're supposed to do, but honestly, the situation that went down there, 2-3 dead on the red team benefits the blue team, even though they had to similarly trade here completely here. Echo has to find a way. Sivir has to find a way out of this one and is dropping pretty low there, and they do get the tower charge in there. Takes about half of that inhibitor turret, which is pretty good for the red team. Camille takes too much damage there to the Mel, and Mel with her Luden's Echo does just a bit too much there. I'm not sure you really want to play this out the way it is right now. But yeah, I would say right now I would say as somebody who just watching the game, I feel like the red team should group up, try to push their advantage as far as they can right now. Not sure how it plays out completely there. I do know the final result, but not too sure how this one completely plays out in this case. Right now we can look, we have an Iceborne Gauntlet and an Unending Despair versus the Ravenous Hydra of the Tryndamere. In the jungle position, we have Thornmeal against the Riftmaker and Dust Till Dawn. The mid lane, the Echo does have the Proto Belt and the tier 3 boots there, but not much else, while the Yasuo has the Storm Razor and an Infinity Edge already in hand. Camille once again trying to create some bit of pressure, but is in a really bad spot. Three are closing in, and Camille's just out of position completely and taken out of this one. That is not the best situation to have a support be in right now, and that could cost quite severely here. Tryndamere gets on top of the Yasuo. Yasuo tries to do some damage, and then Rage is out of there. Echo tries to get on top of him. Get a good knock on the Echo. Echo has to pull out his ult as well. Mel's there as well. There are three in there. They're diving the base. Mel claims Yasuo's life. K'Sante's holding on as much as he can. Tryndamere comes back from the base. Bit too deep, and two go down there. Everybody gets on the board of the blue team. 16-27, about 22 minutes and 5 seconds here right now. The lead is melting slowly. We're a bit under 6,000 gold lead right now in favor of the red team. Infernal Drake is going to be the next objective on the board. Both teams the blue team need to stop the red team from taking this one, because otherwise it's soul point and that could become really dangerous. Camille just kind of shows her hand a bit too early there. Gets completely jumped by the Echo there. Takes a lot of damage. The ult comes out of there. That's a dead Camille right now, and the pressure is being put on here. Ramos is coming in there. TP's coming in around as well. Diana is not in a good spot right now. Tries to find a way out of this one. Echo uses his ultimate to get out of the taunt on top of that, and another one dead. Yasuo not even close. Mom comes in there. K'Sante now tries to TP in there, but it's too little, too late, and nobody's alive anymore. 4 versus 1 K'Sante, and Yasuo's just sitting in the top lane doing nothing, and that's a dead K'Sante, and that will open up that Drake completely for the blue team. And if we look at that, what has Yasuo done during that time? Push the wave out here. What is that? Objective bounty goes over to the blue team, so the lead has melted down to less than about 3,000 gold right now, so that's a heavy loss that they took there. Yasuo is doing the blue buff. I don't know. And now he's going on top of the Tryndamere. Tryndamere is just obliterating him. He gets a knock-up. He pulls out the Tempest, but he flashes in once again, goes for the Ignite, it goes on top, and Tryndamere even gets the kill on top of him. What the hell is that play? Camille's once again being pretty caught out in this one. Nude Quiver, so Yasuo's gonna go for the low dominance regard. Mel with a good send back there. A lot of damage being put on the Smolder. I'm not too sure the Smolder will actually survive this one. The ult comes out of there, blows him immediately up there. That's gone. Echo does die during that fight completely. Mel gets a root on top of the Diana. Camille trying to find some opportunity about that one. Flash is being used here in this situation, trying to find a way out of this one. Both get rooted up there. Cassandra just pushing in the tower, taking a few tower shots even as well. The Diana did finish off the Zonia, so that's another item in her books. Smolder did finish off the Spear of Sojourn as well. Meanwhile, Wild Arrows and Flicker Blade are on the Sivir, and she is going to go for the Infinity Edge as the next item. It's almost there as well. It's going to be another item to keep in mind. I'm looking at this. Oh, Yasuo finds the Tryndamere. Tryndamere finds the Yasuo once again. Rammus comes in from the side. Get on top of him as well. Taunt. And that's just another kill. Rammus takes down the Yasuo with that one. Camille has now the Eclipse. But this is now a big problem. Becoming more and more. Camille goes a bit too aggressive there. Gets taunted up. Gets fear. And nobody can stop that really from happening there. Camille just ints that one away. The lead is melting further and further. We're almost down to 1,000 gold lead. This is an amazing collapse we're seeing here happening from this red team completely. Nothing to stop about. And Tryndamere picks up the Infinity Edge as well. Now has a Ravenous Hydra, Infinity Edge, and an Essence Reaver. Well, an Unending Despair and an Iceburn Gauntlet is on the K'Sante. But yeah. Right now I feel like the blue team are working more as a team than the red team are. That's an obvious thing to point out right now. We're under 1,000 gold lead now. It's amazing what has happened here. Sivir picks up the Infinity Edge now, so this is going to close the gap even further if you can. Tryndamere finds the Yasuo once again. Yasuo goes in completely on that one. Takes a lot of damage already and no chance, and Tryndamere claims another victim. Rammus was even close by, could have done a lot with that one. Camille has to find a way out of this one. Just doesn't walk into dangerous territory here. 130 up till the next Drake, and see how this gold lead is completely melting. It's only 500 now, and that's not a good sign if you are this red team. You do have a Smolder who could start really balling at some point, but the problem is right now you don't have a cohesive fight, and that's the biggest issue we have right now. Diana goes on the Tryndamere, a lot of damage. Then Mel comes in from the side, and that's a dead Diana. And this is now the biggest problem you have, really. You pulled out a fight somewhere where you didn't have to. Now a minute off till the next Drake. And Diana's barely alive as soon as the Drake springs up, and that's going to be a problem. I mean, if you're the red team, you can kind of still drop a Drake, and now we finally see the lead bouncing in the other direction. So, at 2740 about, you have a lead now for the blue team, who were behind the whole time. They are behind 3 behind in kills with their 26 to the 29. However, they have the gold lead. They have, in general, the better team cohesion, which we have seen time and time again. Oh, they're sitting in the brush. Camille, don't walk in that direction. Gets hit immediately there. Has to jump away. Rammus comes in there as well, so there's quite a bit of jump. And now the Camille just dead. Drake immediately comes in there, and now the rest of the red team are trying to find a way into this one, but not really much that can be done about that one. Camille gets a good root up there. Yasuo is not even close. Yasuo moves out of this way. Immediately, K'Sante goes in there. Tries to do what he can, but takes quite a bit of damage there. A lot of damage has been put down there, but not really much you can do in this red team. You just walk in there. They get on top of the Smolder. Rammus is trying to get the taunt on the Smolder. Smolder managed to move away there. They put a bit of damage in there, but still not enough there. Seeker's Arm Guard has been popped here. Sivir is coming around from the side, but Smolder is trying to help as much as he can, and Yasuo has not even been in this fight anymore. He immediately moved out of there, and once again he finds himself with the Tryndamere, and Tryndamere just obliterates him. And now the whole game has been flipped. We're at 29 minutes and 7 seconds, and you got a massive lead for this. Well, not a massive lead, that would be a lie, but just 1,000 and a bit lead for this blue team, who has most of the game has just been beaten down. Now they're getting in top of there. A lot of damage put out there. Echo's pretty low. The Baron gets stolen by the Diana, but not a lot of HP is left in this game right now. K'Sante can get on top of there. Smolder now comes in from the side as well. Can get something out there. Blows up immediately the Sivir, so that's an opportunity to be in here. There's a send back from the Mel. Rabadon's now on the Diana, and the red team did take the Baron away, so they kind of minimized the lead that the blue team had. But the problem is, Boulder needs to find a way out of this one right now. It needs to find the damage completely in every fight now because they're not in a good spot. We do. And honestly, the problem of this red team has mainly been few players don't want to play with the team. And that's been costing them dearly in this game. We gotta see that this red team maybe gets together what they have to do. We're even right now in kills at 31. 3 Drakes on the board for this one, and Yasuo just goes in on the Mel. He should be winning this one, and I'm not too sure about that one, especially not when the Tryndamere now comes around, and Mel even gets to survive this one. Thanks to that, Zhonya's and Tryndamere once again puts the Yasuo down. And honestly, right now, I would say the Yasuo is being very detrimental to the whole team right now. Just always looking for these fights, just trying to find something out of it. Shiver dropping pretty low, but Echo gets a good rewind there. Exec Protocol, and Echo does go down, but the problem is Smolder fell as well, and it's a 2-for-1, but you don't really want to give much onto the Camille right now. And Echo's fine with taking this 2-for-1 because Echo's not really a danger in this game. I mean, he also took himself out of this game as a danger as well. That's the other thing about this. There's a big problematic situation right now where, as I said, we're even right now. We're now even at 33. 3 Drakes for the red team, 2 for the blue team. So at least there's something that the red team could drop. But the problem is still out of that one. The lead is favoring further and further this blue team. If we look at the gold, of course, a lot is that on this Tryndamere. A lot is on the Diana. But the thing is, the Yasuo has been bleeding his lead the whole game. And another issue is, I feel like right now, the Smolder is not finding his point where he has more farm than the Sivir and more kills, but Sivir has been more assists and everything, so she has a slight favor in that as well. And the Mel is doing a lot more work than the Camille in this game. That's another thing we have to keep in mind right now. Also looking for some more opportunity here, but not really much about that one. Camille finds the Mel, gets on top of her. Mel takes quite a bit of damage, but the Tryndamere is coming in there. There's the Hextech Protocol, but now Tryndamere is there, and once again, Zhonya is playing a good game for this Mel, to be honest. Now, Yasuo gets jumped by the Echo. Both of them are not looking pretty in this one right now as the situation is developing. Drake is going to come soon up here. A lot of damage. We do have the Dragon Execution here, but Tryndamere now gets on top of the Diana. And now she's in a bad situation. He gets taunted up there. A lot of damage here. Tryndamere holding up as much as he can. I think the Undying Rage is holding him up there. Gisante barely surviving here. Ramos gets on top of the Smolder, and Tryndamere comes in from the side. This is really right now the big problem that they have. 3-kill lead right now for the blue team. Yasuo just goes on top of the Sivir, takes her out. That's okay, but now we still need to find a way to do this with the Drake right now, and that's going to be the 3rd Drake as well for the blue team. And another thing we have to look at, all 3 Drakes of this blue team have been Infernal Drakes, so it's going to be a big problem now. Tryndamere is almost completely full build right now. He has to exchange, I think, 1 item if I see correctly, and then he's actually full build. And that's going to cause a lot of issues, I would say. Smolder is close to the Infinity Edge, so could build that out soon as well, but still the bigger problems are still there. Phantom Dancer now on the Tryndamere. Tryndamere is now full build. That's one thing to say. Tryndamere can't get any stronger. The problem is, right now, Red Team have nobody to really challenge him. And that is going to be a big issue to keep in mind right now. A lot of that is going to be a part of this. Sunday gets on top of the Echo. Echo does manage to do something about that one. All out is pulled as well. A lot of damage being put there, but Kisanta's in a 2v1, 1v2 right now and gets taken out by the Sivir and the Echo. Mid lane. Oh, Tornado gets put back to the Yasuo. Yasuo's taking quite a bit of damage here already. Mel is taking some as well. Actually hits the Zonias right at the right time. Does go down to the Smolder there. However, there's a lot going down there. Protocol comes out of there. Echo gets on top of something. Has to use the Chrono Break there. And Tryndamere comes in, puts down the Smolder. 4 down on this red team. Diana is the only survivor. Smolder now has the Infinity Edge, but bit good damage there from the Smolder and good play from the team. The problem is you have Tryndamere who's just way away from everybody. Let's be honest about that one. Tryndamere is just ahead of everybody. Baron's going to be done by the red team. No opportunity to steal this one. Let's look at the... We're about 35, 45, and there's about a 4,000 gold lead in favor of the blue team. They do have 3 Drakes. They're going around. Get on top of the Diana. Diana's not looking good. A lot of damage been put on top of her. Pulls them in, but nobody goes down. Ysanta is the survivor. Camille's now up as well. 2 are there. Tryndamere gets on top of the Ysanta. Ysanta puts the Tryndamere into the tower. Pulls him out with the all out as well. A lot of damage being put on top of there. There comes the Smolder. Puts Rammus into the grave. Echo falls to the Smolder as well. That's 2 down. This is an opportunity. However, you should not be over chasing right now the situation. Camille feels like that's the right opportunity to do that one. Baron buff is still available only on the Tryndamere right now. That's an opportunity here. Mel goes pretty heavy in there. Wind Wall does stop the Mel from getting more out of this one. Knock up onto the Sivir. Sivir's dropping pretty low. That is now that done. Tryndamere is going for a TP as well in the sides here. Sivir is dropping pretty low. They get on top of that one. Tryndamere puts the Smolder down. Yasuo is the sole survivor right now, trying to walk away from this whole thing. Ysanta's top side. Yasuo doing what he can. Tryndamere is pushing, meanwhile, everything in good knock up onto the Mel. However, Yasuo is not in a good spot right now. Let's get his shield up there. Good wind wall there. Mel is dropping pretty low. Yasuo takes her out. Meanwhile, Tryndamere pushing into the tower. Gets on top of the Diana. Diana doesn't have an opportunity to really get away from that one. Zonia's being pulled out of there. Not much she can really do about that one. She's still going to die to the Tryndamere. Tryndamere takes her out. Nothing can be really done about that. This is a pretty dangerous situation still happening. We do have the Baron buff still on the Tryndamere. He's the only one left with the Baron buff. Drake is going to be the next play. About 55 seconds on the board. We'll have everybody available in that fight. Problem is, who's going to stop the Tryndamere from doing complete chaos in this game? That is the biggest question right now the red team has to ask themselves. We're at 38 minutes, 3 kill lead here for the blue team, but more than 3,000 gold is the gold lead right now. That's going to be another situation to keep in mind. Kisanta's a bit too early there. Should be very careful about that one. Tryndamere looking for some more opportunity. Gets the slow on the Kisanta. Kisanta's not in good position here. They're almost looking for some chances here. Tries to get on top of the Smolder. Gets a taunt there. All out on the Rammus. This is not a good situation. Tryndamere gets on top of the Smolder. Smolder immediately collapses there. Diana comes in there from the side. Undying Rage for the Tryndamere is up right now. A good situation there. Not much to be done about that one. Dead there as well. Yasuo, meanwhile, goes for the Mel's life here. He's completely, once again, away from everybody. Gets the knock up on the Mel. Kills the Mel. However, recalls are going to come in here. Recall's going to come in there. The Echo bounces back to the base. Yasuo decides to go for a base race versus the Tryndamere, the Rammus, and the Sivir. This does not look good. Meanwhile, the Echo did come back as well, so he's trying to stop the Yasuo from doing anything about this one. There's not going to be much about that one. Rammus and Tryndamere take down the tower. They take even down the inhibitor, both Nexus, and Yasuo's just dancing there. What the hell? And that's all game over. And that's a minus 20 LP for me. And GG, the blue team win that after the red team completely threw everything.